Why, hello there, everybody. How you doing today? It's me again. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about political correctness and explain to you exactly what it is. Political correctness is what's known as a paradoxical situation, otherwise known as a catch-22. A paradoxical situation or a catch-22 is a situation or a problem whose only solution is to not have the situation or not have the problem. In other words, there is no solution for the situation. There is no solution for the problem. And the reason why there is no solution for the situation and solution for the problem is because the problem is made up. It doesn't exist. It only exists for the purpose of creating the paradoxical situation. That's called an arbitrary rule. A perfect example of a paradoxical situation is, let's say someone wants to become a photographer, but there's a group of people that say, hey, in order to become a photographer, you must first have years of experience as a photographer, which of course means that you can never gain experience because you're not a photographer, which means you can never become a photographer. Now, you and I both know that that's a bunch of hogwash, but because anybody, if you want to become a photographer, just pick up a camera and just start shooting it, because that's how most photographers operate anyway. That's how most photographers got started. Starts off as a hobby, becomes a career. So political correctness does the same thing with everything. Everything. Political correctness at its core says, hey, you are wrong because you do not agree with what we're saying, or you are wrong because we say that you are wrong. Now, how do you get out and how do you avoid paradoxical situations and catch-22s? Simple. You don't respond to the arbitrary rules. For example, when political correctness says you are wrong for thinking, believing, and acting a certain way, there is no way to disprove that they are wrong. You can't prove it. Because no matter what you do, they're still going to say, hey, you're wrong. So, what do? You just don't go down that path. You just don't respond to the arbitrary rule. Because the reality is, does their arbitrary rule affect you? Nope. The only effect it's going to have on you is the effect that you allow it to have on you. Is their solution, their problem that they're talking about, the one that doesn't have any solution, the one that's never ending, does it have an effect on you? Of course not, because it's not real. There is no problem which means there is no solution. They're just giving you busy work. They're giving you something to run around in a circle with. To distract you and empower them. Because as soon as you respond to their arbitrary rules, then you are giving credence and power and authority to a arbitrary rule that has no legitimacy and authority until you give it to them. So, folks, when these people are coming at you and calling you racist and calling you deplorable, don't even respond, because you're not going to change their mind. You just focus on being the best you that you can possibly be, because their words are not the only effect that their words are going to have on you, are the effect that you allow them to have on you. Just saying.